Welcome to the Gen X Pole Arts podcast, Fit, Fierce, and Fearless. I am Zen, also known as Nancy Adzentovich, the founder of Gen X Pole Arts. I am happy to be launching this podcast where we are going to be celebrating the strength, resilience, and potential of women over 40 in the vibrant world of pole dance. I'm excited to embark on this empowering journey with you guys. And each week, we will connect with inspiring women who are redefining what it means to thrive in their 40s and beyond. From incredible stories of personal transformation to tips on building strength and confidence, we'll explore the boundless possibilities that pole dancing offers for self-expression and empowerment. Whether you're a seasoned dancer or just curious about the journey, there's a place for you here. So grab a cup of coffee, a sparkling water, whatever turns you on, and get comfortable. Let's celebrate the incredible power of women who are embracing their passions and pushing boundaries at every age. All right, now let's dive into today's episode. Welcome to Fit, Fierce, and Fearless, episode 47. It's the last episode of the year, 2025. It's the last episode of the first season of the podcast. And I've been so blown away and surprised and delighted by the way you all have received the podcast over this past year. All of the amazing, incredible people who have been my guests on the podcast this past year, including Firebird, who you can see is my guest today. This is your third time on the show. So you were one of the first guests in like February or March of this year. And then you came back to do, I think it was episode 25 with the rest of the Pole Babes, our original pole crew of girls. And now you're here today. So thank you for taking time, 3 times now, to do the podcast. And Firebird's initial episode has been the most streamed episode of the year, and by a lot, you guys, and pretty much you pulled out in front right in the beginning. Like as soon as you dropped, it was like boom. So you have a lot of fans out there, Firebird. I don't know what to tell you.
So me and my mom.
No. So I thought it would be nice to bring you back and maybe just thank you publicly for your contribution to the success of the podcast this year. Obviously, people appreciate you and your story and the way you've inspired them. You always have inspired me since I've met you. And maybe just, we could close out the year with a little recap of what's happened for you since you were on in February, March, and maybe looking ahead at what's coming up. So
Yeah,
thank you for being here. I love you.
Oh, I love you too. Thank you. Thank you so much for doing this. As I said when I was a previous guest, I really appreciate that you've created this, and congratulations on your success. You should share a little bit about your accomplishments from Spotify.
I'm so about it, but thank you. Yeah. So Spotify does a Wrapped, as most people know, and they do a Wrapped for the creators too, who create the podcast. And probably also for the artists who post their music on Spotify. But this show was named in the top 3 awards. One was the top 15% of all video podcasts in this past year, which was crazy to me because it's only been a year and that's a pretty prestigious place to be. It was also named an instant hit by Spotify. And that was based on the number of listens and streams and subscribers that it had since basically the first episode. And I think it also gives you the stats. I think that meant it was streamed more than 89% of all other podcasts or something. I worked in digital media for a long time. So I worked in search engine marketing, and when you're building keyword lists and et cetera, and looking at search, we talk about the long tail. So you have like, there's like a few keywords or a few brands or a few whatever it is that's way up here. And then it drops off like a cliff. And then you have this long tail of everything else that's scale from a scale point of view way down here. So I think that, you know, the 89% would be like, here's the top people way, way, way up here. Here's me down here on this curve somewhere. And then you have the long tail of people who probably did like 3, 4 episodes and got tired of it and didn't, you know, continue the rest of the year. And we just kept chugging along and putting out content every week. And I think that really is what got us where we are. So again, I'm just grateful to the guests, because if I did not have so many amazing people agree to be on the show, we never would have been able to stay on track and continue to produce the episodes every week. So thank you
Yeah.
guys. I share the success with all of you. And I hope that, you know, you all continue to give me feedback about what you want to see next year and guests who you'd like to hear from. And if you would like to be a guest, reach out to me and let me know.
Mhm.
Okay, back to you, because this isn't supposed to be about me.
Oh, I'm excited to be part of what you created. And two things stand out to me: your consistency, which is very similar to what we're trying to accomplish with our dancing, right? We're really
Yeah.
committed, we're in the studio, and you are each week you're showing up for the podcast, which is really exciting. And also, I want to congratulate you on some of the guests that you've had, especially recently, Fran and Makeda. And, you know, they'll be surpassing me in views shortly because they're so well known and so incredible, such phenomenal inspiration. So
Yeah.
we'll have to have a little, maybe the three of us can join you sometime. I would love to be
Ooh.
back in their presence.
Oh, that would be so
Yeah.
cool.
I don't think Fran knows me, but I have actually purchased like her some of her Body by Fran. Um, she has like a shoulders workshop that I purchased and some other things. And then Makeda I met at a local workshop here in Los Angeles, and
Yeah,
she's such a goddess.
she
I
is. And
adore her.
she told me that she met you at that workshop.
Yeah, we shared a pole, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm sharing a pole with flying over 50." I was
Um,
fangirling. So,
Me too. Even when I was talking with her, I was
yeah.
like, you have no idea. Like, I'm talking to one of my idols right now. This is incredible.
Yes. Yeah, and
Yeah,
her story is amazing.
her story is amazing. Her energy is amazing. You could just feel it. Oh, yeah. I get like chills just thinking about talking with her. I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel super
Yeah.
honored. Very, very honored.
Yeah, and for those of you who have not listened to those episodes yet, highly encourage it. I'm happy to be surpassed in views and
Well, not
listens.
yet. You're still the queen, my friend. You are the queen.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, it's been really fun. And actually in I wouldn't go so far as to call it preparing for this, but just in thinking about meeting with you again, I did go back and listen to some excerpts from my first time on the show. And interestingly, I said to you at that point, I'm not a trickster.
Right.
And this was back in February. I would still say I'm not a trickster, but at the beginning, you did ask me, in what ways have you grown or focused this year? And I actually focused a lot on my aerial passes, if you will. And I like to say that I enjoy making shapes, and
Yeah.
I still don't consider myself a trickster, but I can make some advanced shapes. And I've really been enjoying that. And it was a something I wasn't expecting. And yeah, I've always considered myself more of a dancer, but in that first episode, I did mention to you that I'm not a trickster and I don't think I'll ever get there. And then I,
Got
according
there.
to myself, blew it out of the water this year.
Yes, you have. It's true. So if you guys are not following Firebird on Instagram, check it out. I'll put her handle in the show notes as usual, but you can watch her progress from not being a trickster to where she is today. And I feel like well, you know, I think our journeys ebb and flow, and different types of movement speak to us at different points in our life. And I think the beginning of the year, you were feeling and it doesn't ever leave you, like the sensual movement and the floor movement and the base work kind of stuff. And then at some point you went from the base and you just kind of elevated literally up the pole to make all of these absolutely gorgeous shapes. And I think what's so interesting about watching you is you bring the same fluidity and the same softness, the same sensuality to your moves if you're on the floor or if you're 6 feet up the pole. And
Mm.
it feels the same. It's like seamless to me to watch you go from the floor up the pole. Even the way in which you climb, it's almost like you don't even see you climb, and all of a sudden you're up there. And it's like, wait, how did she? How did she get there? Like she was just slinking around here, and then all of a sudden it's like you slither up the pole. I don't know how to describe it. It's magic, but it's beautiful.
That is the
And
goal.
if anything, it is your unique signature. Like I know that you've studied with a lot of amazing instructors and done lots of different workshops all over the place. Um, but I don't see, you don't imitate anybody. Like it synthesizes within you and it comes out as Firebird. Like I don't see anybody moving like you either. I like to watch the student videos from the classes that you teach because I see the influence of your
Mm.
movement in what comes out during class. But as hard as they may try to imitate what you're doing, it isn't the same. But I see
Mm.
the essence of what you're teaching coming through in the students. And that's also really beautiful because that's how you know it's a real unique style that others are able to pick it up and bring it into what they're doing. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like
Mhm.
I can see one of your students dancing a choreo without mentioning you at all. And I'm like, they got that from her. That is a Firebird choreo. And that just takes time to develop as a dancer and
Yeah.
as an instructor to get to a point where your personal stamp is just like, there's no question about it. It just is who you are. And I don't think you're
Mm.
trying. I mean, it doesn't look like you're trying to be that way. It is just who you are.
Mm.
It's very
Mhm.
authentic. And
Thank
it's just
you.
really cool. So, yeah, you say you're not a trickster and that you've been working on the tricks. And what I see is you just moved up the pole somehow. You just got up there, you levitated up there, and you're doing the same beautiful shapes up there that you were doing on the floor before.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I saw some local students as well as some pretty famous instructors doing some climbs that intrigued me. And so I asked my friend Kendall one day in open poll, will she show me her beautiful climb? And I had seen some elements of that from Tia Jax, who's just
Hmm.
absolutely phenomenal.
Hmm.
Another Scorpio, Tia is. And yeah, and I think I really wanted to be able to dance my climbs. And once I felt more elegant in dancing my climbs, and once I got my aerial invert back, which I had not been able to aerial invert for about 2 years because of my shoulder injury,
Hmm.
that just changed the game for me this year. And I found myself really enjoying exploring after climbing, inverting, and being upside down and thinking, no, where can I move what and still feel in the flow,
Yeah.
still feel like I am dancing.
Yeah.
And that's why I say I'm not a trickster. My Thursday night class will tell you that I'm lying when I say I've never hit a jade split, but I don't really consider that I have because I'm never aiming to hit a specific shape that's known
Mm.
in the industry, and that's just because I'm really just not great at that. Like if you ask me to do a gorgeous butterfly, it's not going to look right. So I
Yeah.
sort of gave myself permission this year to say like, look, throw that all out the window. What can I do that feels right in my body and that looks yummy, feels yummy? And I had a lot of unexpected success with that, and I've gotten a lot of feedback. In fact, after a class on Tuesday, I went to dinner with the instructor and the other student. It was kind of a quiet class because of the holidays. And the other student I was with was saying, you know, when you move, it looks like she said, I can pick up on your joy and I can pick up on it immediately.
Mhm.
And it just looks like a fluid flow from,
Yes.
ground up the pole or around the pole. And that's what I'm aiming for, is to like exude that joy
Mhm.
and that sort of slinky feel. And to me, having been able to find it up the pole was just like a huge unexpected blessing in 2025. Huge.
Yeah.
And I want to say something else you just mentioned, that people could check my progress on Instagram, and they kind of can't, because I've been heavily shadow banned on Instagram for a long time, but Instagram
Right.
started pulling down my videos. So I archived over 750 videos in an attempt to save my account, and save the videos so that I would still have them.
Mhm.
And so what I've been doing is I've been posting, and then the content has been getting flagged by Instagram, and I've been pulling down or archiving the videos, and then trying to post other things, including fully clothed where I can't go upside down,
Yeah.
just to make the metaverse happy.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's
So
awesome.
a blessing and a frustration, but I'm kind of boring to watch anyway. So I don't know if
What?
people really want to watch. I find myself interesting, but I I think I think that I think that it's interesting for me to dance it, but I'm such a slow dancer that like I really can't expect anybody to watch my long ass 3-minute videos that I post, because it takes me 3 minutes to do like 6 moves.
Girl, that's the whole point. No, that's what we love. Don't you understand? Oh my
I love it.
gosh.
I know there's some people out there who do, but it's definitely takes a lot of patience with me.
I mean,
Yeah.
for us watching, it's not about patience. We're being entertained and mesmerized. That's the
Oh,
whole
thank you.
joy of it.
Thank
Like
you.
you put your authentic joy into what you're doing, and we receive that back. Like we can, when we
Thank
watch,
you.
we feel it,
Good.
That's what makes it beautiful.
Good. Thank you. And
Yeah.
thanks for mentioning my students too. I'm just so proud. I have some very long-standing students. I
Mhm.
think I have to give the absolute like longest term student award to Cassandra. So many blessings to Cassandra. I'm going to tell her to listen and her shout
Yes.
out, because without fail, she is there every Monday night and working hard and just looking so delicious. And yeah,
I've seen her growth too this year.
yeah,
Truly.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm constantly using her for demo now. I'm like, all right, Cassandra, like grab my hand, let's go. Let's show them how it is. Yeah.
Oh, I
And
love
I have
it.
I love a lot of students who are just very dedicated and come every Monday. And I really appreciate that. It's just like fun to dance with the crew, you know?
Yes. Yes. I agree. I
Yeah.
love it. I
Yeah.
love it.
And so thankfully
Um,
they don't find me boring, because they show up to class.
no, you are not boring. I can't even believe you're saying this. If this is the first I've
I
heard
feel like
you.
I'm a very boring person just in general. Like I like to be at a dance studio, or I like to be at home nesting,
Mhm.
or crafting. And look what I made. I made this gorgeous wreath. I haven't finished it. I haven't made the wreath part, but I'm gonna hang that
I
on my
was
door when I'm
noticing it
done.
actually. I was like, wow, that's
It
really
matches
beautiful.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it
Yeah, yeah,
macrame?
yeah. So no, it's ribbons that I purchased, and little trinkets and witchy bells, things like that, that are like, I don't know if you can see the bells.
Yes, I
But
do.
and yeah, little pentagrams, little things. So I'm finishing it up, I hope, during the holidays, and then I'll put it out on my door. So
Gorgeous.
it's me, my plants, my pole, and a very sort of quiet life. And I think I convey that in the studio, though. Like when I'm dancing, I do think that the peace that I feel in my
Mhm.
life, and sort of that like I call it like, I hope, like a quiet elegance.
Yeah.
I think that that shows through in the dancing.
Yes. There's a sophistication about you as well that I think
Thank
comes
you.
through. Definitely.
Thank you. I'm sort of just a silly nerd behind the scenes, but I think when I dance, I do. I do think when I dance, we talked about this before, that like I have some command and some elegance, and I think it's fun to play with. Like I actually I really honor the fact that like I am sort of a goofy nerdy person, in my day-to-day life, and I love
Mhm.
that. And then I also love that, like, it feels very authentic and natural for me to be a sort of slinky, sexy, sensual dancer, and I love that we have all sides. So many of us have so many different sides to us, and me meeting the dance studio and pole dance just really tapped in, and we talked about this before, it just really tapped into other parts of me that needed an outlet, and I feel so much more whole,
Yes.
now, like, everything has come together, and that
Yes.
just is so grounding, it's so regulating, and that's why I encourage anyone who's interested in pole to give it a try because, it does bring out, other aspects of you that can just be really fun to learn about,
Yeah. Yes.
right?
Yeah. That's why I'm doing this. I believe it
Mhm.
100%. Like, it's
Yeah,
life-changing. It's life affirming.
yeah,
It is liberating, and it allows you to get reacquainted with parts of yourself who you may not have seen since your childhood.
yeah,
We
yeah.
bury some pieces of ourselves as we go through life, especially as women. We bury those parts because we have to be the responsible ones. We have to have the children and the jobs and the partners and take care of our parents. Like, we have all these responsibilities that we forget the playfulness and the
Mhm.
sensualness. We forget about our physical selves, because we're busy taking care. We're the caretakers for everything and everybody else.
Yeah,
So,
so
yeah,
true.
I think
I
it gets,
actually have, I like, this Christmas, I bought some new clothes, including the sweater. I bought some new things because, my even some of my sweaters and blazers, like, they just don't fit anymore over, like, my muscles now, like, I've
yeah,
gotten broader, I've gotten so much stronger, and, it's such an exciting thing to experience. It's for
yes,
me, like you said, instead of, always sort of outward facing, as
yeah.
a giver. It's very, self-claiming. Yeah.
Hmm. Yep. I love it. I love it. So, do you have anything coming up in 2026? Any, I don't know, do you have any workshops, any things that you're teaching, any specific goals, or what are you thinking about? Or do you not really plan things around like the calendar year? Like, what's your thoughts about? Because we're right now, if you're
Yeah.
listening to this in real time, but if you're listening to this in the future, it's the day after Christmas that we're recording
Yeah.
this. So we're coming up on New Year's. Yeah. What?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I do follow the Gregorian calendar, but I also follow the astrological calendar and also like the Chinese New Year.
Mhm.
Every opportunity, every month is a good month for a new start, right?
Yeah.
Um, so pole goals, I'm not really, this may surprise some people who are close to me who may be listening, not really all that goal oriented.
Mhm.
I do like to see what comes about.
Mhm.
But I do have some exciting plans. I'm sure I'll be leading a workshop or two. But I am also planning a trip to Australia. I signed up for an
Ooh.
indie pole retreat,
Wow.
and Lola Grace and Indy are teaching near where Indy's home is. And I've wanted to go. I wanted to go to her home studio, Sanctum. In 2026, and sadly, it experienced a devastating fire.
Mhm.
Thankfully, she is rebuilding. That will not be part of my 2026 trip, but maybe I'll be able to go another time, or maybe it'll be ready. Gosh, I'm going in May. But yeah, I saw her advertise one of her 2026 retreats is in the Sunshine Coast, and I'd wanted to go so
Wow.
badly. So I'm going to do that. And it's such a small world. I happen to know another dancer from LA who's going.
Okay.
And there'll be people from all over the world, though. So I'm excited to meet
Mhm.
others. And yes, I'm really, really looking forward to that. I'm going to try to sneak over to New Zealand. There's some dancers in New Zealand that I totally adore online. And so I'd love to go take a class
Mm.
from them. And also, I've always thought about immigrating to New Zealand, so I wanna kinda go check it out. And, yeah, so that's for first half of 2026. That's kind of the big thing on my
That's
mind, and
huge.
yeah, and we'll see where things
Wow.
go from there. Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing,
I'm
amazing.
excited.
Oh,
What about
yeah,
you?
I'm
Do you have
a big fan of hers. Um, I mean, there's this,
yeah.
there's the podcast. So, we'll Gen X pull arts will be going strong. There's going to be some new exciting things coming up in 2026 that are still in the planning stages. So I won't announce them yet, but I'm doing another workshop in Santa Fe in the beginning of February.
Oh, so
So I'm
fun.
really excited to be back with Macy and the gang there. It's a beautiful studio. If you're in that area, check it out. And yeah, I'll just be teaching. And as far as goals, I feel like the first 6 or 7 months of 2025, I just had this issue with my knee and the sciatica in my
Oh,
back. And I really was focused on my classes at Santa Monica College. I'm wearing my sweatshirt right now. So I didn't get to do tricks. I was not
yeah.
doing a lot of floor work because I was in so much pain and I had so much inflammation in my joints, but that's really resolved. And I
Great.
feel like even just in the past 2 months, I've gotten most of my tricks back. I've been
Hmm.
able to perform multiple times, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens in the first half of this coming year in
Yeah.
terms of being able to perform and really getting my aerial passes tightened up to the point where they just feel juicy and good for me. So I would say, like you, I don't set goals, and I have a whole episode
Mhm.
about how I'm not a goal setter, especially around
Oh, that's right.
goals.
I listened to that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I like to see what comes out organically,
Yeah.
right? And just kind of follow what's feeling good for me and my body at the time. And then I think that my state of mind is also reflected, like you were saying, you bring
Hmm.
your centered peacefulness into your dance. And this past year was kind of emotionally crazy for me. I had been through a breakup at the end of last year that was kind of emotionally, mentally abusive. It left me questioning a lot of things about myself. And then
Mm.
one of my friends was very ill, and we did a podcast episode with my friend Shauna, who eventually, sadly, passed away in the beginning of October. And it's just been, I was seeing some softening coming out in my dancing
Mm.
towards the before Shauna passed away. And then it's just come into this weird energy now. I feel like I'm bringing into the studio that's a little chaotic. Like I don't feel
Mm.
like my energy, what's coming out needs to come out, but I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to getting to a point where my dance expression is a little bit more, I guess I could say refined, where right now I feel like
Mhm.
it's a little bit more wild or all it's
Yeah.
kinetic. It's very kinetic
Yeah.
because that's how the emotions I'm processing, right? I feel like it's bouncing around a little crazy.
Hmm.
So I'm looking forward to that settling a little bit in the next couple of months too. Yeah,
Yeah. And I'm sure dancing is helping you release that. Like you said, it
absolutely.
needs to come out,
It needs to
and
come
doing
out.
so in such an embodied way is so healthy,
Yeah.
right? You're turning to a great outlet.
Mm,
Instead of, a lot of times people turn to other things that are not nearly as good for them.
true. True. I mean,
Yeah.
and I drink wine, but I can't say I don't have those vices. But but it's not my primary, you know what I mean? And I don't want
Yeah.
to say I do everything perfectly, but yeah, so I'm just looking forward to the new year. I think you mentioned the Chinese zodiac as well. And it's the
Yeah.
fire
Year of the
horse this
horse.
year, and it's supposed to be like it's a 1 year coming out of a nine of endings, and that feels I feel very aligned with that
That's
energy.
great.
And I'm looking forward to seeing what that's going to bring for me. So
Yeah,
yeah,
Year of the Snake, lots of shedding, so there's just a lot to
yes,
go through, which is like it's great. It was a great year for, some signs. But yeah, I do think next year is going to be a hell of a lot of fun.
me too. And I'm
Yeah.
excited to see with you where we go.
Yeah, I don't we'll have
Never
to see. I'm excited too. I don't know. I don't know. It's always
know.
something new. Yeah.
Well, I think that we could keep this episode short unless there's anything else you want to say in parting.
Oh, I just want to thank you and your guests that you've had on, and just our whole community, the
Mm,
listeners, and yeah, my students and my fellow students when I'm a student in classes. It's
yeah,
yeah, it's really fun to be inspired by everything that's going on in the community. And it's such a bright spot, right? The world can be a little nutty. And so I think that engaging in things like this, it's so helpful and so healthy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
agree. And even just because beyond the fact that it's dancing and movement and being embodied, I think having community that is in person and face to
Yeah.
face and being in communion with so many other humans is
Yeah.
also very reassuring that the world is not as horrible as it may seem when we're
Yeah.
just online doom scrolling, right? It's like, well, let me go into my actual community and, you know, exchange real
Yeah.
energy with other people. And I think we're so fortunate to have that
Yeah, we
opportunity.
need we need that. We need to be in person connecting and vibing, Culturally, I think we have become, at least in the US, so individualistic
Yes.
to a fault, right?
Yes.
And I mean, I know I lean that way because I do very well alone. Like I said, I really spend a lot of time alone. I think that's why I'm at a studio almost every day. Like I'm going to class
Yes.
tonight. I'm going to class tomorrow morning. I go to class on Sunday. So
Yes.
I think it's like, yeah, it's okay, get out of the house, socialize, get some exercise, have some fun.
Yeah.
Check, check, check.
And
Yeah.
then cocoon
And then
at
I
home.
cocoon again and read my books and do my art.
Yeah. But that's what I like to do
Play with
too.
my
Like
plants.
it's like all this energy you're giving and you're receiving when you're out in the studio.
Yeah.
And then I have to kind of, I don't know, process it and like get ready to do it again by just being
Yeah.
almost in my bed. Like this is
Recalibrate.
this is so funny. Like if I'm not dancing and doing crazy acro stuff, I'm basically laying in my bed, to be
I mean,
honest with you. That's where I hang
this
out.
last week I've been on a like what's his name? James Norton shows binge.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
and I mean, because I've also had like this little virus and so yeah, I've either been like Netflixing or Amazon
Uh-huh.
priming anything that James Norton is in. And then yeah, eating, sleeping, napping. I took that 3-hour nap, which is why I missed your your Christmas Eve party. And then yeah, or I'm like rocking it at, level 100 at the studio,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah, it has to
Yeah.
be there has to be a balance. You can't just do it all the time.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Well, thank you
Okay.
again so much. I just yeah, I love what you're doing. Congratulations on the success of the
Thank
podcast. I'm
you.
super excited to see the guests for 2026. I know some incredible people have been reaching out, which is such a compliment. And so
Yes.
I'm glad that I was able to help kick things off at the beginning of this year. And thank you
Yeah.
to everyone who listened to my episode to make it the most listened to of 2025.
I'm gonna send you an award. I'm gonna
Yes.
send you the framed thing that says because Spotify is the one that told me in the Wrapped
Oh,
that it was
wow.
yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay,
Yeah.
like, I want a crown and, like, a red
Yes.
carpet and, like,
Well,
walking to the pole. No, kidding.
yeah, we could make the backdrop, so we'll do, like, the red carpet. We're in LA, I mean, come on.
Yeah, that would have
Something
been
that we do.
hilarious.
It's so
Yeah.
funny.
I want a red carpet pole walk. I think that that would be a lot of fun. We
Well,
should do that for okay,
yes,
so for those who don't know, I think everyone probably knows, Nancy produces events, pole events, and so I feel like for the next
yeah,
pole event, we should have a pole red carpet.
we should.
We
Okay,
just don't
we're
wanna
gonna do
trip in our stilettos.
that. Okay, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. I'm gonna
Yeah,
tell Dee. You guys all know
that'd be
Deanna
fun.
and I have Ladies of Leisure, so okay, I love it. Thank you for
Yeah.
the idea. All right,
Thank
everybody.
you.
With that, we're going to close out the year. Thank you, Firebird. Thank you, everybody, for
Thank
listening. Mwah,
you.
mwah,
Thank
mwah. I love you
you.
all. Be safe, be well, and we'll see you next year. Bye.
2026.
Bye for
Bye.
now. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Fit, Fierce, and Fearless, powered by Gen X Pole Arts. I hope you feel inspired by the incredible stories of strength and resilience that we shared today. Remember, it's never too late to embrace your potential and unleash your passion. If you enjoyed this episode, please, I would appreciate it if you would take a moment to subscribe, rate, and leave me a review. Your support really helps me to continue to uplift and empower women over 40 in our pole dance community and beyond. Don't forget to connect with me on social media for more inspiration and updates. I'd love to hear your stories and share in your journey. So until next time, keep dancing, keep shining, and remember that your strength knows no age.